Hello, this is Jeremiah with Bull Ridge Plumbing. We are at 1911 East 17th Street doing a dirty movie here. We came out, we couldn't get past a couple offsets. We came back, tried to get a better look at this. Right now we're sitting in the city tap, city line, just past the tap. So we're going to go ahead and pull on back and see what we got here. We've got some roots that we didn't see the last time we were here, and we're just going to kind of check that out. So right here, this is where you can see that city line below us. We're just starting to come up the tap. Just going to go through this real slow. I think this is the point of concern, everybody's concern. Right there's kind of the offset from that fitting. You can see it there. Actually, that's actually a crack in the fitting there. And you can see some roots coming up through part of that. You can see how that hub's kind of not in all the way. This is actually where we were getting stuck, was right there. I mean, we were only inches from the tap last time we were here, but you can see it appears that it has a crack going from the left side of the screen to the right, and one also on that ridge line that goes across there. So there's a few roots there, and as we were actually going in, I think that right side has a bigger mass of roots on it. Nothing that's blocking the flow, but definitely something to be aware of. In fact, that's probably what you got there. So there's a little bit of roots, and this next fitting is kind of the same way. It wasn't fully seated, so you can see how it's raised up a little bit there. A little bit of roots on that left side, nothing too major. Some still on the top too. As we pull back, we can kind of see. We will review this just like we do all videos back at the office. This is just on a phone, so it's a pretty small screen to be looking at. So we might see something different once we get to the computer with a bigger screen. But the rest of this line seemed to be okay from the last video we took. You know, we were able to get through all this. Definitely a few offsets. It is clay piping. Very typical to have offsets and roots and offsets in the clay. It's actually more unusual to not see it. So a little bit of roots there, but nothing a machine can even really get a hold of because they're so minor. Kind of think that somebody may have maintenance this line before the camera anyway, so that's why we don't see a lot of roots. I would recommend a Root X. The Root X foaming herbicide goes in, gets to all edges of the pipe because it foams, and that's what's going to kill off the roots, try to keep them from coming back, and I think that's going to be the best maintenance for this line at this point. Spider web up on the top there. It looks like there's a slight crack or maybe a root. Let's go back and look at that a little bit. I think it's a root hanging. I mean, it might be a crack. And well, it's a hard one to say. Even if it is a crack, it's not causing any issues, and it's not really offset or having issues, so maybe a slight crack there, but nothing to be concerned about. Not really much to say about all this part of the line. Got some scale there. Looks like probably from the cast iron. Somebody might have descaled the line. Just kind of left over, just what's been washed through. It'll eventually wash out of the line. The clay is real smooth, so it'll continue to wash out the more it's used. Kind of looks like a little lump right there on the right. Could be something weird with the clay piping. You usually don't see it heave like that. It almost looks like a heave with a crack in it, but again, nothing that should cause any issues, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. A little bit of root there on the right. Still not enough to clean out with the machine. A few stragglers there as well. Right there we got a little bit of a crack too. Just on that right side of the joint a little bit. Comes down a little bit, but it is not affecting anything with the flow there either. So. And again, as small as that was coming from the joint, it could have just been a root. It's kind of hard to tell the difference on those small ones. Right there is definitely a crack in the pipe. Looks like it comes all the way around, almost a full circle, like a joint would be, but it's definitely not a straight cut. So. It's a transition into cast iron. We've now jumped into the cast iron. It's a little bumpier. Now we're coming into the lateral. It's just for this floor drain that we accessed. Out of the floor drain here. There's the floor drain, water heater, furnace, myself, Francisco, who's going to duck out of the way, scared. Thanks. Been a Dirty Movie production.